Good morning, dear colleagues. We continue our working day in the Ukraine Crisis Media Center. My name is Valentin Pugachev, and this is my project, UCMC project Spokesperson of Peaceful Life. And today we are talking about the start of the new academic year in Luhansk region. A child, wherever she or he lives, the child should have access to schools. And now Olga Lishyk visits one of the schools, and independence is created in every school all over Ukraine. So in Lugansk and Donetsk region, the soldiers defend Ukrainian independence, and today we will be talking to Olga Lishyk, deputy head of the Lugansk Regional Civil Military Administration on social and humanitarian issues, on the start of the new academic year in Lugansk region. You are given the floor. Good afternoon. Yes, in Lugansk region we experience difficult situation because the shelling has intensified in September, and the governor of our region addressed to all institutions which are capable of providing peaceful process. Irina Gerashenko, she represents us at the Minsk process, and also the Security Council. He addressed the Security Council as well. The ceasefire was really observed on September 1st. That's why all schools opened their doors, and the contact line security was very important for us, because we understand that children go to school in extraordinary conditions, because you know that the challenges were very intensive in Shastia at the end of August, and the ceasefire the ceasefire started on September 1st. At each school has policemen now on guard, and contact telephone numbers are provided to the directors of these institutions, and we also conducted master classes, trainings for teachers on safe behavior with mines in the territories where the mines are present, and the territories of direct military hostilities. As concerns the start of the academic year in Lugansk region, 299 schools are in operations, where 52,000 school children study in 3 districts at the Cossack line: Novoendarsky, Lugansky, and Popasna districts. There are 1,737 pupils. We can see that people return to their homes, so the number of children has increased, because some people who lived in other regions of Ukraine temporarily they experience problems with funding, and that's why they return to their homes if they are still in the normal conditions for living. And by the regional order, we also launched the academic process, and the agrarian sector is very important for us, because more than 5 colleges, vocational schools in our region train agricultural specialists. We can see that children are not very much interested in agricultural specialties. Yesterday I visited Markivsky district, the vocational school for agricultural experts, and we talked about uniting the vocational schools so that this profession is promoted in our region, and we can provide more professional knowledge in a more professional manner. In our region, we also have affiliates of Agrarian University and Ministry of Interior colleges and university. In Severodonetsk, the university branch has already started operation. We try to return those university branches into full operation, because this ensures stable development of our region. As concerns Agrarian University, we don't want to lose the status of national higher educational institution. Now this institution is in operation in Kharkiv, where similar higher educational institutions are in operation already, so it would be very good for us if we can return this institution to our region. This is we are very much satisfied that the students, new students entered the first year in our universities of our region. We can say that there are more students who entered the first year this year. This means that they believe in security more, and some parents, they can't afford their children to study in Kiev or other cities. That is why they enter our higher educational institutions. This year, unfortunately, the system on distribution of budget funded places in the higher educational institutions, we lost 50% of them, and that is why we send letters to the committee of Verkhovna Rada seeking them to review this approach, because the system in several years will take from Luhansk and Donetsk regions the most young specialists and experts, because they will go to more prestigious universities to other regions, and will remain will further stay in those regions. But we would like those young potential, those young expertise to stay here in our region, so that they help to develop the region. As concerns security and academic year and the processes in Lugansk region, we can say that today the contact line in 3 districts, the heads of towns councils started to review the articles of schools, and to review in what language the children study. all districts of the region, they have Ukrainian-speaking schools. The proportion was 50-50 between Russian and Ukrainian in Lysychansk, Severodonetsk, and Rubizhne, although many parents addressed us seeking to organize Ukrainian-speaking forms in their schools. This is an evolutionary process, but it is very mighty one. We have reviewed the articles in Novoaidar district and consulted the teachers, and where the schools were Russian and Ukrainian speaking, we made them Ukrainian speaking. Where schools were Ukrainian and Russian were only Russian speaking, we also added Ukrainian language there. This way we develop Ukrainian language dissemination. But at the same time, we face the problem with shortage of textbooks in Ukrainian. We addressed relevant ministry, and we addressed Lilia Grinevich, and the ministry has already formed the list of books to provide to these districts. The rest of 20% would be sent soon to those districts where they are lacking. This is because the process of Ukrainian language dissemination, it develops non-violently. This is really community initiative, the parents' initiatives. They apply to executive authorities seeking dissemination of Ukrainian language. The special event was that the Minister of Science and Education, Lilia Grinevich, she visited Luhansk region. It was a signal for us that we are moving in the right direction, and we heard what the ministry proposes to us, and we understand that we are ready to the changes in the country, to implementation in the country of Ukrainian language, and we will promote advanced training of our teachers. And I checked the first form pupils, teachers, the teachers understood the new methods of teaching launched this year, and we will have a dialogue with the ministry to report how the children respond to these new changes, how the parents respond. So we will provide the feedback. As concerns 12 years of education system launching, we will be preparing the communities, providing information what it means. We are going to establish the basic schools. In Lugansk schools, we have already established 6 such institutions, but this is not the final number. And they are initiatives of communities. Yes, the communities are a little bit afraid of this new 12-year system. The community thinks that if there is some basic schools and the village where the branch is going to be, it would be shut down. But this is a myth, because that is why we visit the villages and the communities which doubt in the implementation of these new approaches. We in Svativ district, we talked to the community, which was doubting about launching this new system of basic schools, and this school, which used to have 190 pupils, now have 25 of them, and in the 11th form just one pupil. Then the educational process goes like that. Two-year pupils study. That's why the basic school, this is a real way out. New buses will be provided, and new equipment and training for teachers. All those processes, they are beneficial for the community. We will equip 6 schools with all necessary tools, and we will transport children from the villages to do those basic schools, which will be like an example. So in September we are going to provide 14 buses to 14 schools. Territorial communities will be recipients. New forms of biology, natural science, and other specializations, they have been equipped, and we also compile relevant documentation for energy efficiency launching in those schools for their buildings, and all-inclusive approach also will be launched, and real changes we will see upon those overhauls. One school was selected by the Ministry of Education under the international project. This means that our administration has not paid for that overhaul. It was paid by the international partner. Thank you, Ms. Lishyk. Can you just describe what does it mean, the basic school? The main goal objective is to develop the education in villages. This project is made for the village-based schools because in the villages the birth rate has been decreasing, and many schools have 7 or 8 and up to 25 pupils. That is why one school is selected from all the communities, which is the most completed by pupils, and all those small groups of pupils, they are brought to this basic school, and the level of accreditation of those schools in small villages, it is decreased. They just have either 3 years of education or 9, but the basic school, it is equipped with all possible and required equipment, and special training for teachers is provided, because in a village school one teacher teaches all these subjects, all the disciplines. So this provide the village-based pupils with the opportunity to get very professional education. Thank you very much for your statistics and details, but I have several questions. How many IDPs are registered in Luhansk region? How many of them are children who goes to school and to university?
As to IDPs, we have 285,000 IDPs, and many of them are pensioners and children of different age, up to 7,000. So all IDPs are provided with kindergartens. Every child can go to kindergarten, But and all the children of IDPs, they are in educational institutions, and due to the Ministry of Education, we introduced the project Donbas Ukraine Center that allowed break of connection.
Пані Ольго? Зараз спробуємо відновити зв'язок.
Можна набрати на телефон, спитати, що.
На жаль, пані Ольга не на зв'язку.
So we lost connection.
Там щось відвалилось, тому що немає і телефонного контакту.
Колеги, на жаль, через технічні причини.
Unfortunately, we lost connection, so we end this press conference. We got a lot of information about Luhansk Oblast, and we hope that the next program will be at the same time next week. Thank you.